Hello and welcome to another video by me, the GamerWolfSix. A video by me. This subject is spaying and neutering, which is something I always ask at the end of Let's Plays. That and comment and subscribe and all that stuff. But something I've been kind of wondering is, has anybody actually affected anybody? Like anybody was like, you know what, I should spay and neuter my animal, or considered it, or talked to other people about it, try and get their animals spayed or neutered, or something like that. Because that's a very important subject to me. Because I help animals. I volunteered at an adoption place before and currently at a shelter. And, I like it when those places aren't full. Granted, that's, what's that phrase called? A dream? Or something like that? It's a far cry from actual reality. But it's like, I want to get as many people to spay neuter their animals because I don't want, full places and shelters, and unfortunately high kill shelters exist and all that stuff. That's the thing. Yeah, before I go off rambling, I'd like somebody to comment to tell me if they listen to it and you know what, I should do that, or I should talk to somebody about that. I remember my parents having a dog that they didn't spare or neuter, and hopefully a few times they got out they didn't, procreate, because there's plenty of animals out there already. I bugged them about it, but they never listened. Yeah, well, I can say that's okay, but if they don't, I believe if they don't have their, dingly donglies, then they live a bit longer, because testosterone kind of wears on the body. Yeah. It's kind of funny on tangents. I was thinking about saying tangents, but might as well. I remember when I was at when I was at the shelter here, I saw this, growth on a cat, like a cyst or a tumor. I was like, I probably should get the person to take a look at this. So I got the person, came here, and they didn't seem shocked. And the reason why they didn't seem shocked was because the tumor, well, if you know the subject of this movie, not movie, video, you know where this is going, was between the cat's very visible anus and, where I suspect their dick is. And it was apparently that growth was their balls, because they were just recently brought in and haven't been neutered yet. So, yeah. Besides my one of my parents' dogs, my other parents are actually very, what's the word? They responsible, that's it. And I never saw, any of their animals that weren't, I was going to say spayed and or neutered, but for some reason, all the animals that both of my parents had are male. It's kind of weird. Well, anyways. And then, yesterday, I went to the shelter and, was refilling water for the dogs because it's a hot day and, you need to make sure they got water. And I went into one of their little pens, and then I was hit with a smell of blood, and then I looked on the floor and there was spots of blood, and I'm like, okay, probably, yeah, I should tell the caretaker person that the dog is has putting blood on the floor. And then when I was walking towards, the office there, I turned and looked at the thing and said, in heat. At which point I was like, that's probably a reason. When I, warned them about that, it's like, yeah, that dog's in heat. Because I can't remember if it was a recently brought in like wild dog or wild, but well, let's say wild. Like they didn't know, or if it was somebody that was actually kind of responsible and being like, I should have them spayed or neutered, but it was like, well, since the animal was going through heat, they couldn't spay them. Spay? Yeah, I think spay. At which point it's like, okay, yeah, that's female anatomy stuff. But it didn't really occur to me until I saw in heat there that it was like, hmm, yeah, I guess human women bleed down there periodically. Don't know about, well, like human women in heat, but, if the dogs probably do that, especially when they're in heat, I guess, bleed. Uh, yeah. It's one of those things when you're a dude, and well, I do talk to women. I don't go like, so tell me about your gestation cycle or whatever it is. It's something I've never really gotten into that subject on. Granted, I spent a good amount of my life being in a school that had few women. Eh, um, yeah. There's a weird stories about animals not being spayed and or neutered. I do know that I would have to believe that my parents' dog that died several months ago because good lord, he was like 16 years old. He was up there in age, had a good life, but he was definitely aggressive during some of those years because, no snippy snip, then he's pretty much a horny teenager through a good amount of time. But yeah, then as he got older, he got less aggressive, and he's like what, or was 10 pounds, 16 pounds. He was not a small dog, like small, but he was like not tiny, but small. You could pick him up with one hand, kind of thing, or two hands if you didn't have a lot of things. But anyways, yeah, yeah, being a guy that's like a lot bigger and like looking down at him, I just had to bare my teeth sometimes, being like, dude, I know you have your testicles and you're aggressive when I'm around your food, but I'm like several times your size. Oh, somebody booped me. Whatever. I'm several times your size. I could wreck you if I wanted to, and B, usually if I take your food away, it's because surprise, you're getting more food. I just need to, make this food, then make that food. So, yeah, eventually he was like, oh, right. I shouldn't be aggressive to this guy because he's stronger than me and he has good things. And also he got older and less teenagery. So, yeah. If you haven't spayed or neutered your animals, you should, because it makes them less grumpy. You don't have a chance of having like puppies, which puppies are cute, but having to take care of that many dogs. I mean, we're not all millionaires with mansions, and also it helps control the pet population. Which one of the very disparaging things about working at an adoption center is like, maybe a day might be good. Like, I volunteered on the weekends. I was like, maybe a day might be good. Like, 5, even Christmas 7 animals are adopted, but then next time we get 5, 7 animals ready up for adoption from high kill shelters, and just like, it'd be nice if we didn't have to worry about, high kill shelters and having to get animals adopted. And then there's also the thing like, at the recent place I'm currently, volunteering at, it's like, animals, some of them are, quote, born in the dirt kind of thing, because, people leave their animals out, and they procreate and do the stuff out there. When the animals are in the wild, or maybe they're feral and they go in the wild, and then it's like, get these animals in. You have to kind of train them to be, more around people and stuff like that. There's one cat that's, very like scared of people, but yeah, socialize him and ish. just kind of being around that cat and like being like, hey, you're there. I'm just gonna clean your water and da 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 da. And then there's like, instead of born in the dirt, we had like a bunch of kittens brought in, like brand new kittens brought in, and uh, well, it isn't good when they're out in kind of like a not good environment. This is West Texas. It's deserty, and you know there were originally six. Now there's four. I I did kind of have a bit of an unfortunate thing of being like, oh, this cat doesn't look too well. Let's try and like pipette feed it, and I was worried about it for a day or two like that, and like they take good care of them. It's not like some shitty facility. It's just I like volunteering and taking care of newborn animals that might have ticks or ringworm or there's that the other thing. It's disparaging to be like, let's try and get this animal to eat. Here's milk from a little pipette or whatever, or syringe thing, and then being like, coming 2 days later and being like, I was kind of worried about this animal. How is it? Oh, well, at least the other four are doing all right. Yeah. So, yeah. If you spay neuter your animals or whatever, just tell me. Like, it would be a nice shot in the arm for my um how good I feel for hearing at best somebody spay neuter animal. Uh, Maybe not as good, but still good. Talking to spay neuter animal, best thing. Still good talking to other people to spay neuter animal. Bare minimum, if you have an animal that doesn't have that, then but it's kind of on your mind because I do it. That'd be kind of like that'd be a nice up thing. And yeah, I can't remember what else I was gonna say. Yeah, please remember to spay neuter your animals, cause it makes humane society's job a good amount easier. You know, and stuff. I wasn't planning to make this video down or make myself down, but what are you gonna do? Well, that's the end of this video. I'm gonna go see what that person that booped to me was talking about, and yeah, remember to spay and donate your animals. And until next time, another video by me, the GamerWolfSix of videos by me. See ya.